Columnist Maureen Dowd took aim at Joe Biden this weekend. She wrote, quote, "The president's cold shoulder and heart is counter to every measure he has sent for decades and is out of sync with America, the America he wants to continue to lead. What I find unconscionable is that he refuses to admit or accept the fact that there is a beautiful 4-year-old girl living in Arkansas by the name of Navy Joan, who is your 7th grandchild, Mr. President." This is incredible. First of all, she starts, let me repeat what she said. The president's cold shoulder and cold heart is counter to every message he has sent for decades. No, but it's not counter to who he is. You just believed in that message. These people don't care about the individual. They don't care. And if you are for abortion, why do you care? Children are a mistake. This baby should have been aborted, but her mom was probably a deplorable, and so she saved the child. So big deal. Let her raise it. The husband didn't want it. Why not have that attitude if you're for abortion? I mean, he is clearly, he knows about this grandchild, and he doesn't care at all. Just like he honestly doesn't care about his son. No father. I am an alcoholic, recovering alcoholic. I know what can be done for alcoholics and can't be done for alcoholics. I know I have to hit my personal bottom. Now, why is it that this father who says he loves him and has gone through so many alcoholic children and has so many problems with drugs in his family doesn't yet know empowering him to continue on is a really dangerous thing? Not because he cares about his son, but because he's either making money for dad or he knows if I don't support him, he'll turn on me and expose me. I don't know what it is, but it's not love and compassion and the act of a good dad or grandfather.
It's disgraceful. It really is disgraceful. I'm glad Maureen Dowd actually called this out and somebody on the left said something to defend this little girl. But it was only people who were on the right doing it. You know, this is not her fault. She didn't do anything wrong. She didn't come up with some crazy affair. She didn't commit a crime. She didn't do coke. She didn't do any of these things. She's just a poor little 4-year-old girl who is being abandoned by her father and her grandfather over politics. Yep. It's disgraceful. Yes. And you know, the
I don't even know if it's politics, Stu. I really don't. Maybe with grandpa, but it's money. Yeah. It's money for and time. For Hunter.
Yeah, you know, it's a great point because honestly, the obvious political thing to do here is to just make this go away. And they could do that.
Correct.
They have plenty of money. They could easily make sure she has a nice, cushy life. I mean, if you think about Glenn, let's go back in time. Go back to 1950s, 1960s, a big politician is going through a scandal like this. You throw some money at it. Everyone tries to kind of ignore it. No one really acknowledges it or says anything. That would be the old school way of doing it. And
the old way school. Wait. But the old way school for people to turn away is, look, he's doing his duty. Politics would make it into a scandal, but at least the politician could say, yeah, but I'm taking care of that child. Right. I made a choice. She's having a child. I'm taking care of it.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, Glenn, you know more about this than I do. But in the art world, for example, if we could go delve into the art world, what they seemingly did with this woman was say, hey, here's a bunch of Hunter Biden paintings that she's probably read in the newspaper are worth $750,000 a piece.
Which is an absolute crock.
So she thinks she has all this really valuable art that's going to help her daughter get through her life and pay for her college and all these things, when instead what she has is a bunch of worthless Hunter Biden junk that he's probably didn't even paint, honestly. But even if he did, he didn't do a very good job doing it. And so now she thinks she has $750,000 items that are probably worth, $1,000 or $500 or $0. And they basically scammed her into signing this agreement.
Oh my gosh!
She can't use their name. It's just disgraceful.
It is so disgraceful. Let me give you an example. There is a painting of George Washington by Rembrandt Peale. You've seen it in every history book. Every history book. It's called The Porthole. Look it up. You've seen it. The Porthole Washington. And it literally has been in every history book that I ever had. Rembrandt Peale, Porthole Washington, George Washington, I think it's called. That is about $800,000 for that portrait. You're telling me that Hunter Biden's art is worth that? Really? Really? Because that's fascinating to me. I contend she will never be able to sell any of this art that is, she could go to a museum, not a museum, an art gallery. If you had that piece of art from Rembrandt Peale, you could bring it to an art gallery, and an art gallery would take it and sell it for you. Do you get the $800,000? Maybe, maybe not. You might get $900. You might get $700. But you're in the ballpark. You take these as a baby mama to any gallery, and they're not going to give you $10,000 for them. Guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Terrible. They couldn't even.
I want to buy one of them.
I want money.
Right. Right. It's like giving her Monopoly money. Mm-hmm. It's so insulting. I want to actually buy one of these paintings because I want one in the museum just for history's sake on this family. But I won't pay. I mean, because she's, a mom, I'll give her $10,000. She won't get a better offer. And if she does, okay, great. Take it. Mm. But if she's got all of these paintings, they're not worth anything. Anything.
And I feel like legitimately terrible for this little girl. Like, what did she do?
Oh my gosh.
She had nothing to do with this. Why are you treating her like human scum? This is your granddaughter.
This is the way people treat children who believe in abortion. Tell me something. What does a baby who was, and this is so controversial to say, but who was created through rape, what does that baby have to do with any of that? Now, we say, well, I can't imagine putting that girl through that after the rape. And I understand that. I want that option, it's horrible. I feel horrible saying that because I shouldn't make an exception for that. But many people do make an exception for rape or incest. But that baby is still a baby and still has a soul in it. What did the baby do? The baby didn't do anything wrong. Here's this guy because he just wanted to have awful, icky, drug-induced sex. This child is born. This child is going to need so much therapy.
Yeah, no.
Or they're going to turn out exactly like dad.
Which is a much worse possibility. It's just one of these things where you step back and you have to take a breath and say, look, these things, no one's expecting Joe Biden to host Hunter Biden's baby mama at every state dinner. No one's asking for that. But acknowledging the child would be nice, and when it comes down to it, the circumstances of your conception do not define the value of your life. It's not even a part of the story, right? No one knows the story of how you were conceived, and you probably don't want to know the story of how you were conceived. That's not at all important. It's not at all important to this child, this life that they are denying. They talk about how people identify and how important it is to recognize who they truly are. You won't even acknowledge this is a person. You're just denying their existence completely. It is disgraceful. Thank God somebody said something other than us. But I mean, the fact that this is not a much bigger story and he's not asked about it at every press conference is driving me crazy.
Think about this. They have ignored this for so long. We said this when he was being elected. What about your grandchild? What about the grandchild that you won't recognize? We've been saying that since he was elected. Now that he's weak, they're starting to say something about it. But you'll notice, I don't think he's getting any advice from all of the advisors, all of the people in the White House. This is coming from the outside. Does that have anything to do with all of the people that he has put in agree with Black Lives Matter, that the number one job is to destroy the nuclear family and the family unit? It takes a village. Is that why? Because every sane advisor would say, admit the girl is your grandchild. What is wrong with you, you heartless monster?